My name is Luke Graystrip from Centre of Planning Consultancy. I'm the planning consultant for this application. You're being asked to consider two applications this evening, which differ only insofar as their external appearance. They're primarily distinguishable by their roofs. Scheme A has a setback roof, whereas within Scheme B the roof is set to the front of the building. Members will notice there's other subtle differences around the elevational treatments, not least the more traditional pub facade design for Scheme B. Fundamentally though, the two schemes are the same, with the following key commonalities. They are for a replacement pub with co-joined function and community space. They include 48 residential units in a highly sustainable location directly opposite Wilston Green Tube Station and on the edge of Wilston Green Centre. 35% of the housing would be affordable, with a 70-30 split in favour of affordable rented tenure. 25% of the units would have three or more bedrooms for families. Whilst we consider both designs to be successful and are a product of close collaboration with officers, our preference is for Scheme A with a set-back roof. This is because we believe it has a reduced perceived scale and we feel it best addresses the council's and inspectors' key concerns with the 10-storey Fairview Home scheme in 2014-15. It is of course important to keep in mind that the inspector previously confirmed that the existing building is not absolutely integral to the quality of the area, and he also acknowledged the council's stated position at the inquiry that a replacement building of sufficient quality could be supported. In any event, both schemes do draw inspiration from and respond to the Main Street Conservation Area, particularly the bay projections and the traditional brick and stone materials, but whilst presenting a contemporary piece of architecture. The proposed replacement pub will be larger than the current Queensbury and will be orientated widthways along the front elevation to ensure maximum exposure from the street and with optimum natural lighting. The proposed outdoor seating would also be of a larger size than the existing pub. It's become apparent throughout our involvement that much of the appeal and the success of the Queensbury is down to the fantastic management of the Chris and John that run the pub and his team and their team. To ensure that this continues, the applicant and the operators have a legal agreement ensuring that Chris and John have the first right of refusal to operate the new pub on the same terms as the present lease. The baby and toddler classes run by Busy Rascals currently operate from the Queensbury during weekday and some Saturday mornings. The proposal would formalise a new, larger community and function space. This would be attached to the proposed pub, which could be used not only by Busy Rascals, but any other local community and charitable organisation. The space would also include its own private outdoor space to the side, a significant benefit compared with the existing situation and a much safer one for any children that would be using it. Acknowledging the fantastic work that Busy Rascals provide to the local community, the pub operator has undertaken to protect the existing arrangement between the two parties if this remains their preference. And the applicant has also undertaken to use reasonable endeavours to find them nearby temporary accommodation during the construction works. The proposal would be car-free, reflecting its excellent public transport accessibility, with a planning obligation preventing new residents from obtaining a parking permit to ensure that existing residents aren't impacted. An energy-efficient design along with solar panels and communal heating will ensure that the policy compliance in terms of limiting its carbon emissions. All flats will have access to a private balcony or terrace, and the incorporation of a pleasant communal garden available to all ensures compliance in terms of the council's relevant community standards. In summary, we consider that both schemes would provide substantial planning benefits to the local community and would deliver a contextual design to this gateway location to the conservation area. We thank your officer team for their positive and collaborative approach in dealing with these applications, and we respectfully invite the committee to approve both applications. Thank you for your attention.
I'd just like to say, as the operator and one of the owners of the pub, that we, as my colleague has said, we've entered into an agreement to lease should these planning applications be approved. We'd like to thank the local community and everyone that's supported us over the years, and just say that from our point of view, this development really makes the Queensbury something that will stay for a long period of time and continue to be a community asset. We've watched the Busy Rascals grow over the years, and it's such an amazing organisation and run so well, and something that we've supported, and should this be approved, we would continue to support it. I'd like to approve this application as, in my view, it makes the best use of where we are at the moment.
Thank you. Would members have any questions or clarification?
Thank you, Chair. Can I just ask you, are you quite happy with the size of the new site that you will have? The size of the park that you will, be able to run in the future? Will that be sustainable?
Yeah, I think it's it will work for us. I think the way it's been designed is actually probably better than it is now. And also the fact of having the community space within the park, which is kind of what we have now for most of the day, and the addition of the garden as well, will be great. It'll be a real asset to the area.
Any further points of clarification? Councillor Hills and then Mr. Chapel.
Quick question. Busy Rifles, are they the only group using the community space on the project?
They're the only group who use the community space at the moment, although there has been. We do a few things for other community groups that have approached us. It's normally evening meetings or people that want to do, there's a wine club, things like that have come in, done stuff.
One of the objectives mentioned the lack of kitchen. Is that going to impact on the operation of the pub?
That's just not true. If you look at the basement plan of there is a back of house kitchen area there to the north. That's what we're being
Stores, it says, stores.
And there is ventilation. You see there's a very small circle
No kitchen.
to the back.
It says plant.
That's a ventilation shaft that runs all the way to the roof. So
Toilet.
it's been designed for a kitchen to be located within that space, with all the necessary servicing that goes along with that kind of operation.
Another thing about
That's a kitchen.
Another thing about the design and sort of the operation of the pub, the garden's quite different. I mean, it sort of seems, from what I can see, it seems to lose the sort of pub garden feel that it's got. It's quite open to the street level. Is that something you're sort of concerned about? Either is fine.
From my point of view as the operator, there's the garden at the front, but we would also utilise the garden at the side as well, which comes off the back of the community space. There are some things which will be slightly smaller. I think the garden is slightly smaller, but I think something like that doesn't, it can't take away from the overall benefit of the project.
In pure numeric terms, the existing call it beer garden at the front of the property has an area of 130 square metres. What's been designed there is 170 square metres, and then the garden is about 84 square metres. So in aggregate, it's about double what's there.
Councillor Rees.
Thank you, Chair. Right, as an architect, you will know that applications should preserve or enhance the character of the area. So can you explain, considering that we've got a pub that's 115 years old and it looks like an exceptional building, a beautiful building, how do you explain how your application will preserve and enhance the character of the area, especially considering it's a conservation area?
So I'm actually not an architect, but I'm a planning consultant, but I can answer the question. You're right, the existing building does make a positive contribution. I would never tell you anything other than that. However, what, as you rightly point out, the statute and the policy requires is a comparison exercise between what's there at the moment and what's proposed. We're of the strong opinion that both schemes do make an equal, if not better, contribution to the conservation area than the existing building does, and therefore the policy and the statutory test to pass.
Is it service access in the pub now?
You might want to divert some of those questions back to officers. I know there's anything specific on. Yeah, we'll come to that with the officers' questions. Councillor Rees, Councillor Johnson.
Yeah, just quickly, you mentioned that you have solar panels to provide energy for the building. Where will the panels be sited?
On the roof.
what you reckon?
There's flat parts of the room.
Councillor Dawson?
There have been, should I say, questions asked about the arrangement for the pub. Will the pub actually get built? Was one of the phrases. Is there any guarantees to say that this will be delivered from the developer?
The developer is, I'm not the developer, but the developer is committed to delivering this development in the form that has been put to the committee. There's a legal agreement between the developer and the pub operator that, subject to planning permission being granted, there will be a lease for them to go in to that. So other than me saying that the developer absolutely guarantees to deliver this and that legal agreement being in place, I think that's as much comfort as I could possibly give you.
And as far as we're concerned, that legal agreement's in place. I'd be, for one, most upset if there wasn't a premises based on the drawings and all the great designs that we've seen.
Can I ask you, John, the kind of reverse question I asked some of the speakers who spoke against earlier, I think you went in the room. You have a campaign called Save Queensbury trying to save your pub. You're speaking in favour, they're speaking against. I'm just wondering what your take on that is.
My view on that is that I think the Queensbury people have achieved what they're trying to achieve. They've saved the pub. We're not talking about the building, we're talking about the pub as a community base and everything that involves. And from my point of view, the best way to be able to move forward and to have that there long term is to move forward with this plan.
Further points of clarification, Councillor Morris?
Yeah, going back to the lease of the pub, it's not what you've got at the moment is nothing more than a promise. There's no legal agreement in place now, and it is tonight that we're going to say yes or no to either of the schemes. What I want to know is what guarantees, what legal guarantees have you got that if planning permission was granted, you will still have a pub and community space afterwards?
Apart from the fact that you would grant a planning permission which involves a three-pub building. I mean, I know very little about planning, but I'm presuming that if you grant this, you're granting it based on the drawings that we're looking at up here, correct?
I think we can come on to this also, so there is a question that was raised again earlier about Trojan horse with the words used, which is around how a planned site can necessarily be occupied. But we can come on to that in a couple of offices. Any further points, Councillor?
Why the choice of roof material? If it's not something used in any of the rest of the conservation area, wouldn't it have been easier to use something else?
So you'll see that a lot of the building does, in terms of its materiality, borrow from the conservation area, the brick, the white stone landing. But what we didn't want to do is create what we would call a pastiche design. We don't want to try and fully replicate the architecture of the conservation area because that stands by itself. What we wanted to do here is create a nevertheless contemporary piece of architecture. So the roof was just one of those elements that we felt would respond well to a more contemporary material.
Final question for me. You referenced, both of you, these are asked several times. Are they in support of these developments? You're not objected or in favour of any official? Okay. Thank you for that. If there's no other points of clarification, then thank you for both of you to speaking to the committee.